Welcome to the Fight Night Daily Podcast. We're at the Corn Exchange here in Ipswich. Weigh-in is done. Fabio Wardley versus Justis Huni tomorrow night at Portman Road. And I'm privileged to be joined by my old mate. I was going to say sparring partner, but we never actually sparred, did we?
Not quite, nearly a few times, but never got there.
Absolutely. Colin McMillan, former world champion, WBO featherweight champion, 1992.
1992, that's right.
Mauricio Stecker.
That's right.
How do I remember that, mate? How do I remember that? That's mad. But Colin, firstly, how are you, mate? I know you're looking after Lewis Richardson, who's making his debut here. He had a brilliant Olympics. We was out there covering that, picking up the bronze medal out in Paris 2024. Tell us your involvement with that, first of all. How did that come around?
Well, I'm also looking after a couple of other fighters, Umar Khan and Billy Adams.
Nice.
Billy and Lewis are quite close, so we had a little chat. I said I'd come along and help him out, and boxing, the professional game, quite tough, quite hard. So I thought I'd come along and try and guide him along the way, and hopefully see him go on to become a world champion.
Mate, you become that world champion, and at that time when you won that, I remember we were around that sort of time. I don't know how we never actually sparred. We were in and around the gyms. Never happened. It was like Duke McKenzie. I think it was at the time when you was fighting Paul Ingle or someone like that. But yeah, it never happened. But that knowledge that you've got, passing that on to these younger fighters is priceless, mate. I think that's a great thing for them, isn't it?
Yeah, hopefully I can try and help them. I've been there myself, been self-managed myself. Obviously managed Wardley Harrison for a little bit. So I've been around the game for a long time. You know, it's a very tough sport, and I always want to see fighters fulfil their potential and try and go in there and make a bit of money and look after themselves. I think the most important thing is to come out from this game if your faculties are intact. It's a tough game, hard game, but if you do it properly, you can make a great career. And I think all the guys I'm working with, Hamza, Lewis, Umar and Billy, they've all got great potential, so hopefully they can go on to become champions in the future.
Absolutely. Listen, you could be having a lot of success tomorrow night on that undercard. But let's talk about the main event. We've got to do that. Fabio Wardley versus Justis Huni. Great fight, mate. It's a big night for Fabio because he's sort of like there or thereabouts, and if he wins this one, he's sort of put himself in the mix for this current crop of heavyweights that are at the top right now. Where do you place him?
I think he's right up there. I think over the last couple of performances, he's come of age. He's looking really, really good. I think obviously confidence is going to be on that high, fighting in front of your home crowd. And I think he knows that the heavyweight division at the moment is on fire. So all he needs tomorrow is a great performance, and he's right up there, and he can secure his future. So I'm looking for a good performance from him.
WBA interim world title on the line tomorrow. He wins that one, Colin. Do you think that he's ready for the echelon of the heavyweight division right now, the bigger names of the division? You think he's ready for that?
I think so. I think he's showing that he's kind of come through every test put in front of him. He's an intelligent guy, very good speaker, but he's also a good thinker. And I think you need that. And I think he's got the ability to mix it at the top level.
And Lewis Richardson, who you're looking after and advising right now, what are you expecting from him? Not too far away from his home. He's got a lot of people coming here as well. A lot of pressure on this kid's shoulders. There was in the Olympics as well. He wasn't expected to medal out there, and he did. He excelled. You expecting the same tomorrow?
Yeah, obviously the amateur game and the pro game is different. It's just trying to make that transition. So, it's his first fight. A lot of pressure on him. So, just wanted to try and go out there, enjoy it, box well, show he's in command, and I think give it something, something for the future that we can work on and progress along the line.
Brilliant. Listen, mate, I've got to say, before I let you go, you look in great shape still.
I'm going to come back. Do
you know what? I don't know if I could, mate. I don't know if you've not seen them, Colin McMillan, get on YouTube, check them out. Wow, what a fighter. One of the best this country's ever produced. Hold on a minute. Before we let you go now, we're going to swap you out. I'm going to swap you out with your man. Oh, you're going to come in. All right, let's do this. So look,
sure.
Lewis, we were just talking about, your success there out in the Olympics, Paris 2024. You was one of those guys that excelled. We didn't expect you to come out, with a medal. You did medal, and now you've taken your time to get to this point, but you're making your professional debut. What does it mean to you?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Listen, it's fantastic to be here now. We're nearly 24 hours away, and the weigh-in's just done. And I really embrace and enjoy these moments. The hard work's done, and so it's about really, being present and making the most of these opportunities, because you never know. For me, I believe I've got a fantastic career ahead of me, but it's about embracing it and making the most of it, and being as present as possible.
Absolutely. Listen, we know you're a smart kid, and you've had a smart move there, moving with Colin McMillan, who's going to be advising you and directing you through your career, and taking the right steps at the right time. Great man to have in your corner.
Absolutely, Colin's one of quite a small team, but a very important team, and a team that I fully trust. And as you say, I did take my time to make that transition, but I'm confident I've got the right team around me to really guide me in the correct manner. Who guide me to success, but also have my best interests from a business but also a health point of view. So, and it's important, people sometimes are blindsided by the glitz and the glamour of the boxing, but I believe I've got the perfect team to guide me in the right direction.
I've looked at the lineup, for tomorrow's card, and I've looked where you're positioned. By the time you get in the ring, mate, it's going to be quite busy in there. It's going to be quite rowdy in there. How do you deal with that pressure, by the way? Because normally when we're all turning pro and you get an opportunity to fight on these stadium fights, you're coming out and there's about 8 people in the crowd, something like that, and it's just like, and you have to work your way up there, but they put you in a prime spot.
It's perfect, and it's where I feel like I deserve. It's where I deserve to be, and it's the platform I provided off the back of the Olympics. And you talk about the pressure, and people have been keep saying about pressure to me, but I don't feel it, so I'm not sure where it's coming from.
I'll tell you where it's coming from, because champions deal with the pressure, and the guys that are the challengers, the pressure gets to them. So saying that, you've got that champion's mindset. That's where it comes from. Like, you won't understand it because you're not on the other side, but Colin will tell you, the guys that the pressure gets to them, that's what affects their performance, and the other guys feed off it, and you seem like that guy that sort of embraces that. Like Fabio on the top of the bill, by the way. He's like one of them guys that wants to fight in front of his home fans, wants that pressure because to bring the best out in him.
Yeah, and we thrive under that, that brings the best out in us, but also the fact that you prepare the best, for me, the fact that I know that I prepare the best I can, and it just coming into fight week, it puts me at almost peace, and I'm so relaxed because I know the hard work's been done in the gym, and I'm confident I will perform. And we talk about the thousands and thousands, but Spence, it was busy last year in Paris. There's a lot of people watching, a lot of eyes on all over the world. So I believe I've been in this situation before, and I understand it's professional boxing and it's different, but I'm also prepared for that.
Roland Garros was absolutely packed, mate.
Fantastic
by the way,
memories.
Marco Verdi, who he boxed Mexican in the semi-finals, I thought he won that, by the way. I thought he was very, very unfortunate.
Spence always got my back for that.
Absolutely, mate. I'm always shouting for
that.
He
is. Thank you.
Best of luck tomorrow, mate. I hope it goes well for you.
Top man.
Debut is going to be brilliant. Colin, as always, mate, thank you so much, guys. And look, I think we're going to actually swap you out now because Ade Oladipo has just come out. No, they're done, mate. They're done. We need you. Come on. Colin, no, trust me. We got some gold out of it, mate. That's brilliant. Cheers, guys. So listen, best of luck tomorrow. Best of luck, Ade.
What am I doing?
Well, I don't know, mate.
How do I replace that?
You have to perform, mate.
How do I replace that?
Listen, that is British boxing royalty right there.
Legend.
That's what I was just
How does he look 30 still?
Huh?
How does he look 30?
I know, mate. He was talking about comebacks and wanting to fight me. We never actually mixed it up in the gym. But
maybe a nice little body spar. Maybe a little body spar on camera. Maybe.
Listen, never say
same
never.
weight, same weight-ish.
Never say never.
Never say never.
But look,
no.
I want to get into this heavyweight fight tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Fabio Wardley versus Justis Huni, WBA interim title on the line. The winner goes on, puts his name right up there in the mix. Fabio's one of them rare breeds that seems to feed off that pressure.
Yeah, Fabio reminds me of like almost like a Nigel Benn, to the point where when he gets hit, he doesn't retreat, does he?
No.
You're watching Nigel Benn back in the 90s. Nigel Benn wants to take your head off if you hurt him. And Fabio's a bit like that, where if you land on him, he's like, okay, it's a fight then.
Yeah.
And he wants to throw back, which might be his undoing when he goes to the very, very top. But at this level, I think it's exciting. Can I ask you a question? Is it a harder fight than Jarrell Miller?
I think it's a harder fight than Jarrell Miller.
Okay.
Definitely. The kid's well schooled. He's tough. He's done his apprenticeship. He's done his development. You go back a few fights. Kevin Lorena, who we saw nearly beat Daniel Dubois, very heavy-handed, hurt him badly in the second round. He recovered, showed a lot of character. In the 10th round, he was gone, hung in there, showed a lot of character. We know that if Fabio Wardley hurts him, doesn't necessarily mean that it's over. He's well schooled, he's tall, and he likes to have a fight. It's a great fight, and he doesn't know how to lose.
That's
which
true.
Is important.
Unbeaten fighters don't think they can lose.
Absolutely.
And I'm not having 6 weeks' notice as short notice either.
No,
I mean that's been sort of banded around. Six weeks is, if you're young, and in the mentality of stay ready, don't get ready, you should be ready for 6 weeks.
What I don't like is when he talks about that, saying, "Oh, we was given 6 weeks notice, but I'm ready." I go, "Don't do that."
Don't use that because you're giving yourself a built-in excuse
already.
Yeah.
And that shows sign of weakness. But look, He comes through this Fabio Wardley, yeah, which we expect him to do at Portman Road. It's going to be absolutely bouncing in there. If he comes through that, I want to play a little game with you.
All right, here we go.
I want to play a little game with you.
Here we go. Here we go.
It, mate.
Go on,
so
go on.
Fabio Wardley comes through.
Mm-hmm.
He's in that mix, right?
What mix? What mix?
I'm just asking. He's up there with those names. You got
what names?
Because he's the interim champion.
Okay.
So we go. Let's start off. Fabio Wardley versus Anthony Joshua.
AJ.
Fabio Wardley versus Moses Itoma.
This is the problem, you know.
It's not a problem. It's not a problem.
This is a problem coming. Like there may be trouble ahead. Because they're in the same gym. Someone's got to leave that gym.
Yeah, but
someone's got to leave that
This
gym.
is a little fantasy game that we're playing.
Fabio.
Fabio Wardley versus Daniel Dubois.
Dubois.
Fabio Wardley versus Alexander Usyk.
Oh, sorry. See where I said it rudely. Oh, Usyk.
Fabio Wardley versus Agit Kabiel.
Kabiel.
Right, this one. I'm intrigued in this next one. This is the one.
I know you're going to say. I know you're going to say. My African brother, Makoli.
Yeah. No, not Makoli.
Oh, not Makoli.
Okoli.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Fabio Wardley
my
versus Lawrence
other Nigerian
Okoli.
brother. That's a tough one.
It's a very tough one.
That's a tough one. I almost feel like Okoli's been avoided a little bit.
Yeah.
Almost kept on the outside. Draw.
A draw.
Draw. Fence sitting. I'm fence sitting.
All right,
Very
let's
fencing.
move on. There's been rumours circulating since we're talking about Lawrence Okoli. Rumours circulating. Lawrence Okoli, Dillian White. He was meant to be on here. Now he's not on here. That's an intriguing fight. That I like that fight.
I like it. You know, I like it a lot because Okoli's the one that's been calling and screaming for it.
Yeah.
And it's surprising because 4 or 5 years ago, he would have never have done that. So it's clearly a different Okoli now.
Yeah.
He thinks Dillian White's probably at the end, which he probably is. He's 37. Okoli's now a very big heavyweight. He's a guy that walks around about 250, 260. He's strong. He's got an awkward style.
A new self-found confidence.
What are you thinking? That's what's going to happen?
I'm thinking that.
I thought it was Dillian White Chisora. I thought it was like a trilogy between those two.
A ship sailed, mate. It's gone. What I'm saying is,
you know something.
I don't know something.
You know something.
I don't know something.
You know something.
I don't know something. But I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I think it's a great fight. Do you know what? As well, I saw Frank Warren on with Frank Smith yesterday on talkSPORT.
Yeah.
They were talking about fights that could be possibly made. Where is AJ? What is he doing? When's he fighting? And all that. He was saying if AJ didn't box Tyson Fury next, the number one choice would be Deontay Wilder. Do you like that fight?
No.
Oh?
No.
You don't like it?
I don't. I mean, I like it from the aspect of
But surely when
we haven't seen it for 10 years and I want it. Yeah.
In the best fighting the best. Did we need to see that? Was Deontay too far gone?
Deontay's too far gone. I mean, I like Deontay. Well, look, he's got a fight. Deontay's got a fight in 2 weeks' time. So let's see what he looks like in that fight, and then maybe we can get an AJ Wilder cell going. For me, there are more better and exciting fights, sexier fights for AJ at this stage of his career than Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, and that would be one Tyson Fury, and we'd love to see that.
That would be one Tyson Fury. That would be a Daniel Dubois. I know, our fellow talkSPORT pundit Adam Cattrall doesn't feel like AJ should somehow jump the queue for Daniel Dubois. It's Anthony Joshua. AJ can jump the queue to fight anybody.
He's a two-time world heavyweight champion. He
brings this to the table.
Absolutely, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Here, let me throw a name in the mix here because you've got to do it, mate. And I like him a lot. Dave Allen, Deontay Wilder. Would that be a fight you'd like to see?
How crazy that we're even discussing that. Like a couple of years ago, you'd be locked up for even uttering those two fighters in the same sentence.
I know.
All of a sudden, I'll see it. I'd watch it.
Yeah.
I'd watch it. You know, Wilder can't pull the trigger anymore. If you can't pull the trigger, I don't care how big your right hand is. If you're not throwing the right hand, then
it's crazy we're even talking about it when you talk about this guy 24
You brought it up,
ago.
you mentioned it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying I had to mention it because that's where we're at right now. And since I've mentioned that, did you see that Terence Crawford actually picked Daniel Dubois to beat Alexander Usyk? He thinks it's all about timing, and he believes that Dubois now will have gained a lot from that last fight, and he wins. What do you reckon?
He's got a good chance, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, you were in the barn with him, so you've seen him. And I said to...
Listen,
go on.
I've seen him in the barn, mate. just improved physically,
Dude.
but mentally as well, and that's
Dude.
a big thing, man. This is that serious fight.
Dude, he's got a
serious
setup
shot.
for him. You know, like there's fight camps and there's about 4 fighters in the camp. The camp's for Daniel Dubois.
Yeah.
Everyone's there for him. Someone carrying his water, someone carrying him. Like, Daniel, just get to the ring. Let me help you. Don't waste your legs. So he's got a team, and
he trains like, honestly, mate, he trains like a dog. Like,
he's a
that
peak
guy.
athlete. He's 27. He's a peak athlete right now. And Usyk's 38. Usyk's still incredible. Usyk for me is pound for pound number 1, but 38 is 38. And those 2 fights against Tyson Fury would have taken something out of him.
Yeah.
Where Daniel Dubois steamrolled his opponents of recent. So, you know, I really needed to see. I needed to see Dubois versus Parker to know.
Yeah.
Like, if Dubois steamed Parker, then I'm like, okay, I'm all systems go Dubois, Usyk. But he's got a chance. He's got a 30% chance.
Do you know what? How good is it, though? We're talking about all these fights that could be made, should be made, should have been made. It's like we're in a great time.
Dude, it's the best time in the world.
Yeah.
It might be the best time ever to be a heavyweight.
Absolutely.
Because you don't even have to be that good and you could make 7 figures right now.
Yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
totally agree with that. Well, look, let's finish off with top of the bill here. Portman Road tomorrow night. It's going to be absolutely heaving in there for sure.
Yeah.
Fabio Wardley, Justis Huni. Who wins and how?
Justis Huni's up. Fabio Wardley stops him. Justis Huni's boxing around him. First couple of rounds, he's landing a couple of good shots. Fabio gets to him, and Justis Huni doesn't get up. I mean, he gets up. I mean, I'm not trying to say he gets up, but he doesn't get up in 10. That's what I'm saying.
There you go. Well, listen, Ade,
Thank you
as
very
always,
much.
mate, thank you very much. And guys, that is it here from the weigh-in. Justis Huni and Fabio Wardley go at it tomorrow, Portman Road. Make sure you guys tune in. We're across the talkSPORT networks from 7 p.m.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.